Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are doing great and you're having a great day today. So, with another video. Today we're going to talk about children, okay? As I have children, and I personally believe that they're God's gift for sure. You know, there are two sides to everything, right? Of course, and children are sometimes not easy, right? Especially um, because I guess we all have our own like negative qualities, I suppose, right? Or traumas that we have to work through, right? Or or imperfections, right? You can call it imperfections. Uh, things like impatience, right? For me personally, it's the impatience, right? I am. I used to not be a very patient person, right? And so for me, and with kids, you need a lot of patience, right? And so, of course, having a child is going to teach you exactly what you need to learn, right? Otherwise, you will just end up, um, messing up, I would say, right? Not necessarily even like messing up, but just making a lot of mistakes that you might regret down the line, right? So, yeah, for me, it's definitely the impatience, right? And as I'm like kind of going through life, right, and learning, I realized that over the years I've become more patient, and that is great. That's really great. But I still have to improve. Okay, I'm still not perfect. And so children definitely teach you um, patience, or how to have patience and how to be more patient. It's just, it's essential because without patience, you will just not be a good parent. By the way, just to make this video just a little bit less serious, okay, I'm gonna tell you something really, really funny. Right now, I'm sitting on a whole bunch of corn, cold corn, and trying to ice my leg, okay, my back leg and my leg muscle, basically, right, and my gluteus maximus, okay, because I pulled it, unfortunately. And I did this by doing squats, okay, and basically using a weight that was way too big for me, and I was going way too low, okay. I was really pushing myself in the gym, right, and that's what I ended up doing. Basically, I ended up like pulling a muscle, and I was basically limping all day today, so not good, not good. Guys, know your limits. That's also one of my I guess negative qualities, I would say, is that I don't know my limits. I feel like I'm like I don't know. I feel like I can do anything basically, right? And that there are no limits, but there of course are, right? Everybody, or we all have limits, right? When it comes to our body. So yeah, know when to stop. And yeah, especially for you, all of you guys down there who are like trying to impress girls in the gym, definitely be careful. Okay. We're usually not even really paying attention when you're trying to do that. We're not looking at how much you're lifting unless it's like extremely significant like weight, so yeah. If we like you, we like you. We don't care how much weight you pick up. Okay, it's like really irrelevant, I would say. Anyway, so yeah, back to what I was talking about in terms of our video, right? So today's video, right, it's going to focus more on children, right? But I think everyone can learn from it, and the reason being is because um, it will apply to real life. It will apply to learning about humans, it will apply to um, your personal growth and development, especially your spiritual development, okay. And so you know children have a lot to teach us, okay, as adults, as human beings, so that's why it makes me I don't know whatever your stance is, right? Whether you want children or not, right? This video is not about forcing you or making you to have kids, right? If you're a woman, no, no way, no way. I'm not about that. You know, I believe we all have free will. I believe we all have, you know, we all go through different experiences in life, right? And they're all different and unique, you know. And some of them are. Yeah, some of them are not so not so easy, you know, and especially when it comes to like romantic relationships, for example, you know. And so I'm not the one to tell you like, oh, have kids, right? Because this and this and that. No, no, definitely not, right? But I will tell you that by having kids, you will learn so much, and you will grow as a person, and you will just you will never be the same, basically, you know, from the day that they're born, basically, you know. And even as a woman, right, I will tell you this, that it changes you as a woman, you know. It makes you, as a woman, it makes you feel more feminine, you know. It makes you feel so much more comfortable in that feminine energy, you know. It just you know, whereas before maybe you might have not have been so comfortable in your femininity, right? Because of perhaps maybe past traumas, right, that had to do with your mom, right? But now, after giving birth, that kind of like all goes out the door, okay? And there, like, you become so comfortable in being a woman and being in that feminine energy, you know? So anyway, so today, right, that we're going to talk about, I will give you 7 reasons, right, on why the devil hates children, okay? And the reason why I'm saying this, the devil, right? I know a lot of you have different religions, right? And some of you might not believe in that, okay? But I've made a couple of different videos about the devil, right? And about the fact that we are in a spiritual battle, right? Whether you want to believe it or not, okay? And the spiritual battle is all ultimately, I think, comes down to our souls, you know, and uh, you know, it has a lot to do with it's a battle for our souls, right? It's a battle for I believe you know, this is in a way a prison planet, right? And what that means is that I believe if people continue to operate in their lower consciousness, right, or in the 3D world, right, then they're going to keep on coming back to this prison world, right, and they're going to keep on suffering, okay, until they learn their lesson, okay. I think it is the ultimately it comes down to you know, um, recognizing that you are this light, you are this love, right? And to kind of extend this outwards into the world, okay? And this will ultimately, that self-love, right? Um, that remembrance of who you are, that ability to finally connect to source again, right? It will, that awakening, right, the death of your ego, right, that spiritual awakening will ultimately, I believe this will be your um, last time of, this will be your escape, basically. This will give you the ability to escape this 3D world and no longer come here, okay? And you're not going to be stuck in this cycle once again, right? As so many different things have cycles, right? So this will give you an opportunity or a chance to get the heck out of here, basically, okay, and escape this prison planet, right? And there have been, I think there's a book, and I think it is called The Prison Planet, right, which was very interesting. And I think, yeah, we are definitely in the prison planet, right, where most of us are suffering in one way or another, right? And yeah, for those of you that will ultimately experience the spiritual awakening, and I think a lot of humanity at this time, they're headed there, okay? And so I think for a lot of us, for example, right, our mission is to wake humanity up, okay? So this is our job, right? And because I think it's the most important job that is out there, you know, ultimately because that's what matters, right? Is escaping, is getting the heck out of here and never coming back here again to suffer, right? And so yeah, this is my personal belief in this, right? And of course the devil, right? It's a spirit, right? It's the demonic, the demons, right? Those are spirits, right? Bad spirits that don't want to see that happening. They want to keep you in that fear-based mode, and they want you to keep on coming back here because they feed off of your negative energy. You're their food source, okay? And so, anyways, this is not what this video was going to be about, right? But this is kind of like what I feel led to kind of discuss with you, right? But anyway, so let's go back to children, okay? So 7 reasons and why the devil hates children, okay? And I think also, right, I want to add the reason why a lot of kids are being targeted from a young age, right, by the devil or by demonic entities is because they know this fairly well. They know that if you corrupt them at a very early age, then they will be traumatized forever, you know. As I'm talking about this, my light just completely turns off by itself. This is extremely creepy. Anyways, very weird, okay? Anyway, so let's go back. I'm just a little bit freaked out right now. Anyway, so let's get to point 1, okay? So kids are authentic, okay? And they tell it like it is, whether you like it or not, okay? They don't sugarcoat things, they just say what's on their mind, right? They act themselves. If they want to wear pajamas outside, then they're gonna wear pajamas outside. If they want to walk barefoot, they're just gonna throw the shoes out, right? And walk barefoot. Some kids don't like that, you know. My son's new friend, he doesn't like not wearing shoes outside, you know, so that's what he does, right? Anyways, they like what they like and they don't like what they don't like, and they tell it like it is. They're extremely authentic, they're coming from the heart, they're still very much connected to source. And they will tell you the truth too, you know. If you look bad, I don't know, if they don't like something about you, they will tell it like it is, right? If you not necessarily look bad, but if you're, I don't know, if you have something strange, if they find something strange about you, they will just call it out, right? They basically they're not capable of sugarcoating things just yet, right? That comes later, right? And they're extremely authentic. There's no ego there, right? So until a certain age, and they are still very, very much extremely real, right? Very natural, very authentic. And this is beautiful, guys, because it teaches us adults, right, to be the same way, okay? If we are in some way faking it, we can't hide from that, okay? They will call it out, they will call us out on that, right? They will usually mention something, you know, and you'll be like, oh, okay, you know. So and you know, if you are lying to yourself, for example, about certain things, right, they will also tell you the truth, whether you like it or not, and you're going to just have to face it because, you know, it's probably the truth. And not always, right, but in most cases, right. So it is quite interesting, okay? Anyway, so point number 2, right, is they're always cheerful, right, for the most part, and they're very much still connected to source, okay? So children, for the most part, are still very much operating from that source consciousness or God consciousness, right? They're very much connected to source. That's the reason why they have so much energy, and that's the reason why most of the time, unless their home conditions are extremely terrible, right? For the most part, they're very, they still very much live in the present they're very cheerful, sorry, and for the most part they can pick themselves up off the floor very very fast, right? And just if they're experiencing a bad mood, it usually like changes in a second, so they're able to change from a mood to a mood, right? And for the most part they're really cheerful and happy, right? Unless of course there are terrible circumstances in their homes, and I hope not, right? But for the most part, right? So that's why they're so energized, that's why they have so much energy, is they're connected to source. And when we're connected to source, we usually have a lot of energy, okay? That energy can just be pulled from source. We don't have to drain everyone else around us in order to get that energy, okay? So next point is, right, they live in the present moment, okay? So guys, the only life that we truly have is in the present moment, right? Unfortunately, taking pictures, for example, making videos in the present moment usually takes all of those memories that we could have had away, and so that's why you have to be really, really careful with, cameras and videos, right? When you're doing something very special, sometimes the best memories are, they're left just for your mind, and they should be imprinted in your memory. Okay, so you can look back and actually remember things, right? The special things. Sometimes, like I said, when we take pictures, videos, we just kind of, this takes away from the present moment, and we don't remember anything really, so that's one thing, right? And of course, let's get back to kids, right? Kids are naturally, they live in the present moment, they want to do things right now, they don't want to leave things for tomorrow, right? Or after tomorrow. My kid usually, he's always like, if he wants to go on a trip, he's like, Mom, let's go on the trip, like right now. And I'm like when, and he's like, right now. And I'm like, I can't, I have work today, I have to teach. Like I said, right, they just, they don't think about tomorrow, right? They don't live in the future. They're living right now, and they want to do things now. And in a way, that's how we should live life too, if you want to do something, just go for it, of course we do have, as adults, we have responsibilities and things like that, right? And that's why we have to make plans, like future plans, right? Of course I understand that too, right? But still, we should live in the moment and treat our days, or treat our time as if it's precious, right? And then that means, really steering away from doing the things that we hate, that we don't enjoy, and actually doing the things that we love, and I know, sorry, I know a lot of people, they still can't live this way, right? They feel like they need to suffer, right? They need to do things, that they have to do what they have to do, right? That's like the phrase, right? But no, you don't, okay? Sometimes it takes guts, and sometimes you have to go against the grain, against your family, in order to really finally enjoy your life, sometimes even your own family doesn't wish you well, so you have to reevaluate, like, does my family really wish me well, or do they just care about themselves, kind of, so of course we have to make sacrifices for our family, but we shouldn't have to sacrifice ourselves, right, in the process, or yeah. And also, we shouldn't be living someone else's lives, right? Just because someone around us wants us to live a certain way doesn't mean that it's the life that we want for ourselves. So we have to question that, are we really doing things for ourselves, and the things that we want and like, or are we doing it to look a certain way, or for someone else, because we feel like it's our responsibility, right? So yeah. So anyways, let's go back to kids, okay? So kids literally color our lives, okay? They color on the lives of their parents, and of course, you know, once you have children, right? You buy them, you know, different toys, and they're colorful toys for the most part, right? And I'm not just talking about you know, physical colors, right, that come with toys and things like that. As your rooms certainly gets more colorful because of that, right? But I'm also talking about, you know, just coloring your lives. It becomes less boring, right? As adults, we tend to get more jaded, more boring, right? More bored with the things, the mundane things, the things that we have to do, or the things that we're used to, right? Everything kind of just turns black and white, right? And we just, or gray, I would even say, right? And so our because of that, our energy decreases, our vibration decreases, right? We become less vibrant, right? Less colorful, right? I would say our spirit almost dies, especially if we're working like dead end jobs, right? And we're not really living in our purpose. So your kids certainly change all of that, okay? Because they bring so much color into your life, you know, they bring so much joy, even though it's really hard sometimes to even enjoy, or to allow ourselves to enjoy some moments because we're so tired, right, as parents. Still, you know, they will try to make you laugh, they joke around, right? They will tickle you, they want to play all the time, they want you to join them in their play. And so you kind of you're almost forced to let that inner kid out, you know. You almost have no choice because, you know, as they say, right, playing with your kids actually helps their brain develop, okay? If you want smarter kids, then you have to play with them, okay? And not only that, but you connect with them on their level, right? It's not like, it's not just going somewhere that you like to go to, right? And like kind of dragging your kids along. No, it's you getting down on their level, and you getting into that sandbox, you know, and you going outside, right, and playing with balloons, playing with water guns, right, and you kind of like, this colors your life, this lets your spirit out. So having kids certainly has made my life more colorful, I would say. And I really do appreciate that about my child. You know, he does bring so much joy into my life, you know, and he really is a God's gift to me, guys, okay? I would say that kids are God's gift, okay? Um, so anyways, so number 5, okay, they help their parents heal, right? And to work on, and give you the ability to work on any imperfections, okay? I'm gonna try to make this video a little bit faster because I have a class coming up in like 15 minutes anyway. So they're a mirror, okay, guys. So everything, children start out with a clean slate, right? Especially just physically, not in terms of spirituality, because they come with their own experience, with their own soul. Certain souls are old souls, right? So they bring their own knowledge, wisdom, right? And so, but I'm talking about physically, right? So they come with a clean slate, and they will mirror you like crazy, okay? So anything bad that you say to them, it will come back to you, okay? They will repeat it back to you. Anything good or anything funny that you say will also come back to you, okay? So this will heal you tremendously if you constantly telling them, you know, if you're constantly telling them how great they are, how important they are, how special they are, right? It's all going to come back to you. They're going to tell you the same thing, okay? And they're like our mirrors, you know. So you're also going to, this is your feedback as a parent, you know, whether you're doing a good job or not, right? If you're hearing a lot of negative stuff that's coming from your child, right, like shut up, or you're this and you're that and blah, blah, right, then that means you have to look within and make a lot of changes, you know. You have to be careful how you're speaking to them, right? You have to be careful with what you're telling them and how you're saying it to them, right? Because they're going to mirror all the qualities, your bad qualities and your good qualities back to you, right? And so if you're aware, and if you actually care about being a good parent, right, you're gonna make sure to notice that and change it, you know, work on changing it, because guys, none of us are perfect, right? We're going to make mistakes. I certainly am not, right? I still have a lot of things to learn and a lot of areas to improve in, right? And so my kid sometimes, you know, like he mirrors back certain things that I definitely want to change, you know. And of course it's you hearing it back from your kid, right? You're like, oh my god, I really should be careful, you know, with what I'm saying, you know. So it's things like that. Also, if they start yelling, for example, right? Um, um, you know, you're going to you're going to eventually, you know, damage your relationship, right? If you're constantly yelling, if you're stuck in this cycle, right? If you're if you learn things from your parents and you're just using that, right? You're constantly going to be reminded of one or two of your parents. You're going to feel like them, and you're gonna feel really bad about yourself. Okay, I've had moments where I was reminded, I felt like my mom, you know, and that made me feel extremely bad. And I was like, oh my goodness, you know, I feel like I'm my mom, and I feel like what I'm doing is exactly like what my mom did, you know, and I would never want that for my kiddo, you know. So once again, I notice these things, and I'm working on changing them, you know. So you have to also notice that. You have to recognize your own triggers, right, cycles, and try not to um, get stuck in that unconscious way of being, you know, just doing things like automatically without thinking, you know. Um, so that's what I'm working on, right? And so anyways, so there are a lot of times where your kiddo will show you your imperfections, right? And they will mirror the good and the bad things to you, right? Anyways, guys, so also, right, kids will give you an opportunity to heal, you know. If you're on your healing journey, or if you need to heal, right, they're going to tell you, they're going to give you unconditional love, okay, guys? They're going to tell you how much they love you, you know, and they're going to hug you. They're gonna, you know, my kid gives me flowers every single day, and that is just so special, guys, you know. That is just, I've never really experienced such like love, you know, before, even from my own parents, you know. It is just, that's why it's such a God's gift, you know, because it's just so special to experience this pure love, you know, that you've never felt before, you know. And yeah, your kids will heal you tremendously, because there's no ego, there are no underlying intentions, right? There are no bad intentions. They don't want anything from you. They're not trying to manipulate you or get you to do something until a certain age, perhaps, right? And then maybe this kind of starts a little bit, right? But still, I would say most of them have very innocent intentions. And like I said, this will be tremendously healing for you as a parent, as a person. You know, all the kisses, right? It's depending on your love language. We all have a different love language, right? And mine is like physical touch, right? So when my kiddo just hugs me and kisses me, it just makes me like, it makes me just feel so loved, you know. And I try to be very affectionate with him too, you know. And I think you guys should, if you have children, make sure you kiss them, you hug them, no matter how stressed out you are, no matter how tired you are, you know. Kissing one another, hugging, makes you feel better, okay? It lifts your mood, it releases endorphins, right? So yeah. Anyways, what else? Parents also witness the creation of um, a civilized human being, right, being formed, basically. So as you're raising your children, you're going to recognize a lot of the conditioning that goes into raising your child, and you're going to be questioning that, okay? So this also will get you to question your own views about your own world that have been formed over the years, okay? So you're going to end up really thinking about your values and your morals. You're going to go back to that, right? And you're going to be like, okay, wait a minute, should I really be teaching my kid this or that, right? And by questioning all of this, you're going to be, like I said, questioning your own beliefs and the way that you were raised and the things that you were told, okay? this might shatter your worldview about things, okay? And this might actually ultimately wake you up to a greater reality, or to the truth, okay, of the matter. And so there's that, right? And there's also just watching them, grow and develop so rapidly, right? If you're like a rigid person, if you don't do too well with change, right, you're just going to change. You're gonna have to adapt, right? You're going to have to become very adaptable. You're going to have to adjust, right? And so you're gonna become a more fluid, more changing individual, okay? You're just going to, this will naturally happen. It's going to be very surprising, right? And yeah, it's like, you're watching this, I can't say caterpillar, um turn, well, yeah, maybe a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, right? So you're watching this process unfold, and it's happening so fast that it's just crazy. It's out of this world, basically. I remember just watching, and I'm still watching this process, right? But when he was a baby, the process was even faster, right? Now it's fast, but when he was a baby, from that point, it was just so extremely fast, the way that he was developing and growing, and when he started talking and just making first sounds, and then talking, right? Then forming full sentences, and just like remembering the entire poems, right, and just reciting them back to me. I was just completely stunned and shocked, to be honest with you. So yeah, that was very eye opening for me. Um, and also, right, last but not least, guys. Okay, I have 5 minutes. Oh my God, they remind us that we're good enough just being ourselves. Okay, guys. A lot of us think that we have to have something, that we have to do something, that we have to be somebody, right? Um, there's this annoying song that keeps on playing, like on YouTube, right? Like it's a commercial. It takes a queen to look in the mirror, right? Uh, Basically to recognize her worth, right? Like it takes a queen. No, it doesn't take a queen, okay? You just have to be yourself, okay? You don't have to be a king or a queen to look in the mirror and to love yourself, okay? You just have to be you. You have to accept you as you are, okay? And recognize your own value, because we're all worth so much. All of us contribute so much to this life, to everyone else's lives, whether we know it or not, okay? And so children teach us that we're good enough as we are, okay? Because they themselves are good enough as they are, okay? Me just looking at my kiddo, and him, just seeing him laugh, and how he just lights up the room, as soon as he laughs, like it makes me feel so great. I also laugh, and everyone around him laughs, right? And just people just really enjoy being around him, and it's just him being him, right? So that's how a lot of